Have you ever stopped to think, like, what if tiny, almost invisible changes in your day could actually lead to huge, really life-changing results? Today, we're doing a deep dive into James Clear's Atomic Habits. And this isn't, just feel-good advice. It's pitched as a really proven system built on psychology, science, and, well, real-world results.
Exactly. And our mission here for you listening is to really pull out the most critical nuggets from Atomic Habits. Think of it as a shortcut, right? A way to grasp how these tiny actions can genuinely create massive, lasting change in your life. I mean, it sounds almost unbelievable, but the math he presents is striking. Becoming just 1% better each day means you're potentially 37 times better after a year. That's the kind of power we're exploring.
Yeah, that 37x figure always blows my mind, but what really hit me from the book, right at its core, is this idea. Clear presents, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. That just sort of turns everything upside down, doesn't it? What does that actually mean for us?
It's a really fundamental shift in perspective he's pushing for. Most of us, we're laser focused on goals.
Yeah.
Lose X pounds, write a novel, get that promotion. But Clear says, hang on, those are just the results you want. The real engine behind change is your systems, the processes you follow day in, day out that lead to those results. And atomic, the word itself is interesting here. It means both extremely small, tiny, but also a source of immense power, like an atom, right?
Oh, okay. Small but powerful.
Exactly. It's a deliberate contrast to how we usually think we need these huge, dramatic upheavals to change, which, let's be honest, rarely last. Instead, he frames habits as the compound interest of self-improvement.
Like money in the bank, but for personal growth.
Precisely. Just like money compounds, your habits build on each other. Tiny gains, tiny improvements, repeated consistently. That's where the real sustainable change comes from, not from one-off bursts of effort. And building on that foundation, Clear actually breaks down behavior change into 3 layers. It helps to visualize it. So on the surface, you've got the outcomes. That's the stuff we usually focus on, losing weight, publishing the book, whatever.
Right, the goal.
The goal, yeah. Then, one layer deeper, you have the processes. This is about what you do exercising regularly, writing every day.
Yeah.
The system, essentially. But the deepest layer, and this is maybe the most powerful insight in the book, is identity. This is about your beliefs, who you fundamentally believe you are. Things like, I am a healthy person, or I am a writer. And his big argument is that, true, lasting behavior change isn't about the outcome or even just the process. It's fundamentally about changing your identity.
Wow, okay, so it's not just I want to write a book. It's shifting to I am a writer.
That really reframes it for you, the listener. It shifts the focus from what do I want to achieve to something deeper. Who do I wish to become? And then every action, every habit becomes like a vote for that identity you're building. Each time you sit down to write, even for 5 minutes, you're casting a vote for I am a writer.
Reinforcing it.
You're literally proving it to yourself bit by bit. Okay, so understanding the why, the identity piece, that makes a lot of sense. But the big question is always the how, right? How do we actually do this? Does Clear give us practical steps?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just theory. He provides a very clear, very practical framework. The 4 laws of behavior change. Think of them as 4 simple steps to engineer better habits.
4 simple steps.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, and they work for building good habits and for breaking bad ones. They map directly onto the stages of any habit.
So what are they? Lay them out for us. Okay, Law 1, make it obvious that relates to the cue or trigger. Law 2, make it attractive. That's about the craving. Law 3, make it easy focusing on the response or action. And Law 4, make it satisfying, which links to the reward. Get these 4 right, and you're basically setting yourself up for success.
Okay, let's break those down. Law 1, make it obvious. How aware are you, really, of your current habits? The good, the bad, the neutral. Clear suggests starting with something he calls a habit scorecard. Just, listing out your daily routines to see what's actually going on. Awareness first.
Right, you can't change what you're not aware of. And once you have that awareness, you can use specific tactics. One is implementation intentions. It sounds fancy, but it's just a clear plan. The structure is, I will behavior at time and location. Super specific, like I will do 10 push-ups at 8 a.m. in my bedroom.
Removes the ambiguity.
Exactly. Another great one is habit stacking. This is brilliant. You link a new habit you want to build onto one you already do without thinking. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. So maybe after I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 tooth. Or after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute.
Stacking it onto something automatic?
Precisely. And underlying all this is environment design. This is huge. Clear argues pretty convincingly that our surroundings often dictate our behavior more than our motivation does.
So changing your space can change your habit.
Absolutely. Make the cues for your good habits obvious and visible. Put your running shoes by the door, put fruit on the counter not hidden away, and make cues for bad habits invisible. Hide the cookies,
Okay, makes sense. Make it obvious. What's law 2?
Law 2 is make it attractive. How do you make the habit something you actually want to do, or at least associate with something you want? He introduces a technique called temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do.
Like combining pleasure with duty.
Kind of, yeah. The classic example is, I will only listen to my favorite podcast while I'm exercising. Or, I only get to watch my favorite Netflix show while I'm folding laundry.
I could use that for folding laundry. It works because you're linking the must-do with a get-to-do.
Exactly. You're leveraging dopamine, basically. The anticipation of the reward to the podcast, the show, makes the less desirable habit more attractive. And another big part of making things attractive is the social environment. He stresses joining groups or cultures where your desired behavior is the normal behavior.
Right, surrounding yourself with people who already do what you want to do.
Yeah, we're social animals.
Yeah.
We want to fit in. If everyone in your group runs marathons, running seems more attractive, more normal. The habit becomes more likely to stick.
Okay, obvious,
Yeah.
attractive. What's law 3?
Law 3, make it easy. This is all about reducing friction. How can you make the habit as effortless as possible?
Like removing obstacles. I guess preparing things in advance fits here, like laying out your workout clothes the night before.
Totally. That's a perfect example of reducing friction. If your gym clothes are ready, that's one less barrier between you and working out. Prime your environment to make the future action easy.
Makes sense.
And a key principle here is the 2-minute rule. This is gold. When you're starting a new habit, make sure it takes less than 2 minutes to do.
Less than 2 minutes. That sounds really small.
It is, but that's the point. Instead of read every night, the goal becomes read 1 page. Instead of do yoga for 30 minutes, it's roll out my yoga mat.
So the idea is just to start.
Yes. He makes a crucial distinction between being in motion and taking action. Planning to read, researching books, that's motion. Reading 1 page, that's action. Starting, no matter how small, is the key. You can optimize later. Just get started. 2 minutes. Make it easy.
I like that. Okay, law 4.
Law 4. Make it satisfying. This closes the habit loop. The fundamental rule of behavior change is, what is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided.
But the problem is good habits often have delayed rewards, right?
Yeah.
Like fitness or saving money.
Exactly. The benefit of eating healthy today won't be obvious tonight. So we need to find ways to inject some immediate satisfaction into the process.
How do you do that?
Well, simple things work. Using a habit tracker is a great example. Just putting that check mark or X on the calendar provides a little hit of satisfaction. That's visual proof of progress.
Don't break the chain method.
That's it. Seeing that unbroken chain is surprisingly motivating. It feels good. You're creating an immediate reward. The feeling of accomplishment, the visual cue of success, that reinforces the behavior.
So obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. That's the framework for building good habits. What about breaking bad ones? Is it just the opposite?
Pretty much. It's the inversion of the 4 laws. To break a bad habit, invert law 1, make it invisible, reduce exposure to the cue, unsubscribe from tempting emails, leave your phone in another room. Invert law 2, make it unattractive, reframe the benefits. Think about the negative consequences of the habit associated with something unpleasant. Invert law 3, make it difficult. Increase the friction. Add steps between you and the bad habit. Delete apps. Put junk food on the highest shelf. And invert law 4. Make it unsatisfying. Find ways to make the consequence immediate and unpleasant, maybe through an accountability partner or a penalty system. Make the cost clear right away.
It's like reversing the engine. Okay.
Yeah. And beyond those core laws, Clear offers some, let's call them advanced strategies, for really making habits stick long term.
Okay, what else has he got?
Well, we touched on habit tracking, but its power really lies in consistency. It provides visual proof, keeps you honest, and leverages that satisfying feeling. And related to tracking is the don't break the chain idea, but with a crucial addendum. If you do miss a day because life happens, the rule is never miss twice.
Okay. So perfection isn't the goal, but getting back on track immediately is.
Exactly. 1 missed day is an anomaly. 2 is the start of a new unwanted pattern. Get back on track the very next day. Then there's the Goldilocks rule. This is about keeping things challenging enough to stay engaging, but not so hard that you get discouraged.
Finding that just right zone.
Precisely. You want tasks that are right on the edge of your current abilities. That's where motivation stays high because you're making progress but still being stretched. He connects this to achieving a flow state, that feeling of being fully immersed and energized by an activity.
Makes sense. Too easy is boring. Too hard is frustrating.
Right. And finally, he talks about accountability partners. Just knowing someone else is watching or expecting you to report back can be a powerful motivator.
The social pressure element.
Yeah, leveraging commitment and social expectation to your advantage. It raises the stakes for sticking to your habit.
You know, listening to all this, the laws, the advanced strategies, it feels like we keep coming back to that idea you mentioned earlier, identity.
It really is the thread that ties it all together for long-term success. Because eventually, external rewards or tracking might fade. But if the habit has become part of who you are,
Then it sticks.
right. So the process he suggests for identity-based habits is basically, 1, decide the type of person you want to be. What are your principles, your values? 2, prove it to yourself with small wins. Use the 4 laws to build tiny habits that align with that identity. Cast those votes, like you said. And 3, let the habit become the evidence that reinforces the identity. The focus shifts from achieving the goal to simply acting in alignment with who you believe you are. That's the sustainable path.
The habit serves the identity, not just the outcome.
You got it. So as we wrap up this deep dive, the core message to really hold on to is that small habits don't just add up linearly, they compound. Like that 1% becoming 37x better. The biggest results are often delayed. Success isn't usually an overnight thing. It's the product of daily, consistent effort. So the advice really is be patient, trust the process, keep casting those small votes.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with, something James Clear puts out there that really makes you think. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. Think about that. Where are your habits taking you right now? Forget the current outcome for a second. What's the direction? And maybe ask yourself, what tiny atomic habit could you start or maybe start today that would shift that trajectory just a little bit?